You're listening to Business English Pod, the business English podcast for professionals on the move.
Hello and welcome back to Business English Pod. With the World Cup about to kick off, we're taking a fresh look at one of our lessons on English idioms related to football. Before we get started, a quick reminder that a PDF transcript for this lesson, along with hundreds of others, is available on the BEP website. Premium members can also access extra resources for every lesson. To take a free trial, just head over to www.businessenglishpod.com. What do you call an activity where groups of people compete strategically against each other as they strive to be the winner? I mean an activity with a clear goal where success requires strong teamwork and a commitment to excellent performance. Some of you might be thinking about sports. Some of you might be thinking about business. Well, you're both right. There are so many obvious similarities between sports and business. It's no wonder that we see the language of sport come into play in the corporate world. And there's a particular type of language that we're going to focus on in this lesson, called idioms. Just like the expression come into play, which means to be involved or to be a factor in something. Now when I say football, I'm referring to the game with the round ball that players kick into the net past the goalkeeper. It's what North Americans tend to call soccer to differentiate it from their own game of football, which is a whole different ballgame altogether. Internationally, football, or soccer, is the most popular sport in the world, so it's no wonder it has inspired so many idioms commonly used in business. In the dialogue, we'll hear Carl and Marilyn, two friends who work at a publishing company. Carl is thinking about applying for a job at the company's Sydney office. He has some doubts, though, so he asks Marilyn what she thinks. As you listen to the dialogue, try to answer the following questions. 1. How does Carl describe his approach to his career? 2. Why is Carl worried about the other candidates for the job he's interested in? 3. What does Marilyn say happens at the Sydney office?
Hey Marilyn, can I talk to you about something?
Sure. What's up?
Well, I've been kicking around an idea for a while and I was wondering if I could get your opinion.
Okay.
This might come out of left field, but I'm thinking about applying for the marketing manager position that's just opened up in Sydney.
Really? What brought this on?
I need a change. I feel like if I stay here, I'm just playing it safe with my career. Do you know what I mean? I'm worried that I'll just end up sitting on the sidelines.
Uh-huh.
And if I'm going to advance, I need to kick it into touch and move on.
Wow. I totally know what you mean, though. So, what's stopping you?
Well, I'm not so sure I'm in the same league as the other candidates. So I wanted to ask you, do you know much about the Sydney branch?
I do. I talk to Ed in HR there almost every day. They've acquired some huge accounts in the last year or two. They're definitely not second division. But I won't lie, they're also known for constantly moving the goalposts.
Yeah, I heard that too. It's not much of a level playing field.
That's for sure. But you know the score, and you've always been able to carry the ball. I bet you'd be fine over there.
Now let's go through the dialogue again and look at the idioms Carl and Marilyn used in the conversation. The dialogue begins as Carl asks Marilyn for her opinion on an idea he's considering.
Hey Marilyn, can I talk to you about something?
Sure. What's up?
Well, I've been kicking around an idea for a while and I was wondering if I could get your opinion.
Okay.
Carl wants Marilyn's thoughts on an idea that he's been kicking around. If you've ever taken a football into the schoolyard and passed it back and forth with your friends, then you've done some kicking around. Kicking the ball around is informal or just for practice. And for that reason, kicking an idea around means thinking about it and talking about it, but not committing to it. So if you're just considering doing something, you can say you are kicking the idea around. Let's try some more ways of using this idiom, to kick around.
I think HR is kicking around a 4-day work week.
Let's kick this idea around for a few days. We don't have to decide now.
So what is this idea that Carl has been kicking around? Let's listen.
This might come out of left field, but I'm thinking about applying for the marketing manager position that's just opened up in Sydney.
Really? What brought this on?
You can hear how surprised Marilyn is. She's surprised because, as Carl says, his idea seems to come out of left field. This is one idiom that we hear in the conversation that doesn't come from football, but rather from baseball. In baseball, a throw from left field to home plate is uncommon and therefore surprising. So we can say something came out of left field when it is sudden and highly unexpected. What are some other ways of using this idiom? Let's practice a couple more examples.
Can you believe Sherry quit? That totally came out of left field.
That telecom merger with PhoneLink came out of left field. I bet nobody saw that coming.
Carl's surprising news is that there's a job opportunity in Sydney that he is considering applying for. Marilyn is curious what brought this on, or what motivated his idea. Let's hear how Carl responds.
I need a change. I feel like if I stay here, I'm just playing it safe with my career. Do you know what I mean? I'm worried that I'll just end up sitting on the sidelines.
Uh-huh.
There are two useful idioms here in Carl's response. Firstly, he says he is playing it safe. This means he is avoiding doing anything risky or unusual. If you are afraid of being scored on in a football game, for example, you might play it safe with a very defensive strategy. Let's try some other ways to use play it safe in a conversation.
Let's play it safe and add another week to the schedule.
The company played it safe when they promoted Mitch. He won't do anything too extreme.
Secondly, Carl is worried that his safe strategy will mean he will eventually be sitting on the sidelines. On a football pitch, the sidelines are where the coaches and substitute players sit. If you are on the sidelines at a game, it means you're not actually playing the game. So Carl is worried that by playing it safe, his career might suffer. How else can we talk about someone sitting on the sidelines to mean they are not important or active? Let's try some more examples.
I can't stand on the sidelines and watch you destroy your career.
Cynthia prefers to stay on the sidelines. She never volunteers to lead a project.
So what does Carl want to do in this situation instead of sitting on the sidelines? Let's listen.
And if I'm going to advance, I need to kick it into touch and move on.
In football, the touch line is the white line around the edges of the field, marking the playing area. If you kick the ball across that line or into touch, then the play stops. In business, if you kick a plan or project into touch, you cancel it or decide not to do it. In this case, Carl is talking about kicking his current position into touch and finding a new job. Let's try a few more examples of to kick it into touch, and note that this idiom may not be understood at all by Americans.
This approach isn't working. We need to kick it into touch and try something else.
Carl doesn't like the new promotional plan and wants to kick it into touch, but I think we need to give it more time.
Now, how does Marilyn respond to Carl's idea about applying for the job in Sydney?
Wow. I totally know what you mean, though. So, what's stopping you?
Well, I'm not so sure I'm in the same league as the other candidates, so I wanted to ask you, do you know much about the Sydney branch?
Carl has doubts about whether he could get the job. Or, as he says, he's not sure he's in the same league as other people applying. A league is a group of sports teams that compete against each other. Most sports are divided into several leagues, according to their ability. If you are not in the same league as another person, it means that they are more experienced, more skilled, more qualified, or generally better. What are some other ways to use "in the same league" to compare people or companies?
Since we're such a small operation, we're not in the same league as our competitors.
I'd prefer to hire from within, but nobody on our staff is in the same league as this candidate.
Carl asks Marilyn if she knows anything about the Sydney office. How does she respond?
I do. I talk to Ed in HR there almost every day. They've acquired some huge accounts in the last year or two. They're definitely not second division.
In professional football, teams are organized into different leagues called divisions. The best teams form what is called the Premier Division or Premier League. Below that is the second division. When Marilyn says that the Sydney office is definitely not second division, she means that they are in the top tier. If you say that something is second division, then you're saying they are not among the very best. Let's run through some more ways to use this idiom, second division.
Nobody expected such a strong quarter from a second division company like Whitney.
Joe thinks he's the weaker candidate because he went to a second division business school, but I think that's nonsense.
Marilyn has some more information about the Sydney office, as we can hear.
But I won't lie, they're also known for constantly moving the goalposts.
Yeah, I heard that too. It's not much of a level playing field.
Goalposts form the structure of the goal into which you kick the ball to score. If the goalposts move, then the players may be confused or frustrated. So what does it mean when Marilyn says the Sydney office is always moving the goalposts? She means they are making unreasonable changes. When the goalposts are moved, you have to adapt to a new definition of success, as you can hear in these examples.
The last time Connie was in charge, she kept moving the goalposts. Deadlines were always changing without warning.
We want to be successful, but you have to stop moving the goalposts. Tell us what you want and stick to it.
Carl has also heard that there may be some challenges at the Sydney office. He says that it's not a level playing field. Of course, if you play football, or any sport, you want the field to be even or regular. You don't want rough patches or holes. If there are rough patches, then it will affect the game. A level playing field in business means that everyone has the same chances of succeeding. Everyone has the same information and the same opportunity. How else can we talk about a level playing field in a business context? Let's try some more examples.
Before we start this competition, let's make sure we have a level playing field.
This would be a lot easier if there was a level playing field. Of all the firms sending in proposals, we're the least experienced with patent law.
So, do the problems at the Sydney office mean that Carl should not apply? Let's hear what Marilyn thinks.
That's for sure. But you know the score, and you've always been able to carry the ball. I bet you'd be fine over there.
If you know the score, it means you know the truth about something, especially a competition. In football, you can choose a wise strategy if you know what the score is. Marilyn says that Carl knows the score because he is aware of the challenges at the Sydney office. Let's run through a couple more ways of using this idiom to know the score.
You can't fool Ricardo. He's been an analyst for 40 years. He knows the score.
You should definitely discuss the code changes with Graham. He knows the score.
Marilyn encourages Carl with one more idiom. She says he is able to carry the ball. In this case, carrying the ball means leading something or playing well. If nobody can carry the ball on the field, it means the team won't succeed. If you can carry the ball in business or the workplace, it means you can get things done properly. Let's try some more ways of talking about leading or doing things right with this idiom, to carry the ball.
Francine will carry the ball while I'm away.
Willis always carries the ball. I have total confidence in him.
Well, as you've seen, there are many idioms from football that can be used in a conversation about business. And this is just an example of football idioms. There are many more idioms from other sports that we commonly use. Clearly, sports is a very rich area of language that is useful in business. Now let's practice some of the idioms from this lesson. In a moment, you'll hear a series of sentences. Each sentence will be followed by a beep. After the beep, you need to restate or rephrase the sentence using one of the idioms we learned today. When you listen to the sentence, think about which idea can be replaced by one of the idioms. For example, if you hear,
We'll never get this done if you don't stop making unreasonable changes.
you can say,
We'll never get this done if you don't stop moving the goalposts.
after each response, we'll provide the correct answer. Ready? Let's give it a go.
I'm confident that Lenny knows the truth about this. Answer. I'm confident that Lenny knows the score.
The scandal was really surprising. Answer. The scandal came out of left field.
I'm tired of being outside the main area of activity. Answer. I'm tired of being on the sidelines.
I need some time to think this over and discuss it with others. Answer. I need some time to kick this around.
Jeff is a person who avoids taking risks. Answer. Jeff is a person who plays it safe.
We've reached the end of this lesson, the first in our two-part series on idioms related to football. We've learned lots of great expressions that come from the world of sports to talk about business and how people behave. In our next lesson, we'll hear the colleagues use more useful idioms in their conversation. For more practice, premium members can access the online quizzes and PDF transcripts for this and other lessons on the BEP website. Not a member yet? Then head over to www.businessenglishpod.com and sign up for a free trial to preview some of the extra resources available to members. Thanks for listening, and see you again soon.